Hi, this is Mike from Mike Duffy's personal trainer and our head trainer Ernesto Verdan. Today we're here to show you a foam rolling exercise to help you get some knots and pain out of your lats. Typically when people have shoulder pain, their lats kind of knot up in order to protect the shoulder, and you're not going to get full range of motion and pain-free shoulder until you get these knots out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this foam roller, and this should basically be the first thing you should do before you train, especially if you're training shoulders or upper body, is you want to lay on your side, foam roller, and basically in your armpit, and you want to kind of roll slowly up and down until you feel some pain. And believe me, you might not think you have any, but once you start rolling and moving left to right a little bit, you're going to find a painful spot in your lats, and that's usually a knot if either the fascia is knotted up or a knot in the muscle. And basically you want to find the most painful point and sit on that painful point for 30 to 60 seconds, and that pain should subside throughout the course of 30 to 60 seconds. Now you might have one big knot, you might have a couple small ones, so you want to sit on each knot for 30 to 60 seconds. Now Ernesto right now basically has 2 feet on the ground and no arms, so he's got about half his body weight on that knot. So if that's too much pain there, Ernesto could put 1 or 2 hands on the floor, which will take some of the pressure off if it's a really painful knot. Or you can also drop his hip onto the floor. So depending on how painful that knot is, you can handle your body weight. So the more pain you have, less body weight you want on it, and the less pain you have, the more resistance you put on it. But if you do this 4 or 5 days in a row, you'll completely take out that knot in your lats, and you'll see your range of motion in your shoulder will increase dramatically. So this is the first exercise that we want to do when warming up for upper body movements. So that's it. We'll see you shortly for the next exercise. The second exercise that we have for a pain-free shoulder is taking a lacrosse ball, which is basically a small hard ball. You can use pretty much any ball you want, but these seem to work the best. You want to lie it on the floor, and then you want to lay down very carefully, and you want to set it right around your shoulder blade on your affected shoulder. And then what you want to do is you kind of want to roll around a little bit, left, right, up and down, all across the top of your shoulder blade, the side of your shoulder blade, maybe on your rear delt. You want to take your arm maybe and reach it up over your head. And basically what you do is as you're rolling on this lacrosse ball, you're going to come to some very, very painful areas of your shoulder. And these muscles are pretty much overtrained, and some of them are knotted up, again, to protect the actual shoulder itself. And what you want to do is we're searching for some knots, and we're searching for pain. And then what you want to do is once you find a painful area, you want to sit on that painful area for, again, 30 to 60 seconds. You might have 1 knot, you might have a couple small ones, but basically what you're looking to do is apply direct pressure. You don't want to roll up and down real fast. You want to go very slowly, find direct pressure. Again, you can lift your hips up, come off the floor, if you can handle that much pressure. Alright, if you can't, you just keep your hips down and your arms on the floor. So basically you want to circle around, up, down, left, right, all along the shoulder blade and on the rear part of the delt. And believe me, you're going to find some very, very, very painful areas. Go really slow. Once you find those areas, sit on them and hold the ball on the painful area until the pain dissipates throughout the course of 30 to 60 seconds. Again, the more you do this, the quicker your shoulder will be out of pain. So 3 to 5 days, every day in a row, spend a couple minutes on it, and you'll see your range of motion in your shoulder will increase, and you'll feel less and less pain as you do it. So the second exercise, it's a mobility exercise to open up the shoulder joint and help you clear pain. We'll see you again in a few. And this is a mobility exercise, one of a couple that we're going to show you, that will help you develop your shoulder and strengthen it and take any pain out of your shoulder over a period of time. So first thing you want to do is you want to take a super band, and you want to secure it on the low post, and then we'll take your hand and wrap it through the band, and you want to point your thumb down, which will internally rotate your humerus, and then what you want to do is post your shoulder forward and stretch, and the further forward you move, the more of a stretch you have in your shoulder. Basically this is stretching his anterior shoulder area and also his pec. I just want to kind of lean into it and twist, and you feel the stretch. Ernesto, can you show us where in your shoulder you're feeling the stretch when you do the exercise?
Here.
Okay.
Here.
Right across top shoulder, anterior shoulder, part of the traps. Basically what we're going to do is you want to hold this stretch. We usually do anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. You want to pull it to a point where you feel a stretch. You shouldn't feel any pain, but you should feel stretching. This is exercise 1. Next thing you want to do is just basically want to turn around and face in the opposite direction. Okay, same shoulder. So Ernesto's going to take his arm, let's come across the front of the body, again with his thumb down, zoomer internally rotated, and he's going to twist into his affected shoulder and forward. And basically this exercise, mobility exercise, will help stretch your rhomboids and your upper trap in that area. Ernesto, can you show where it's stretching here? Rear delt, yeah, rear delt. If you lean into it further, you get the attachments all through the spine here, but this whole area, if you twist and lean forward, you might have to play with it a little bit until you feel the stretch, but you're going to feel it. You're going to see Ernesto's leaning forward a little bit, twist and stretch. Alright, so that's exercise number 2. We have 2 more coming up, and we'll show you that in the next video. We'll see you in a few. Okay, the third exercise we're going to do, we're going to detach the super band from the bottom position and anchor it somewhere high and stable. Ernesto's going to grab the tubing with his hand, and he's going to internally rotate his shoulder, his humerus, so his thumb's pointing down. He's going to place one hand on top of the other, and he's going to push down his affected hand with his opposite hand. His body's hinged back, his weight's back, mostly on his heels, and he'll be stretching the lats out here. So he'll be feeling the stretch all through this area here. I'm going to hold that stretch 30 to 60 seconds. And then at that, we're going to come out of this slowly, and then we're going to rotate forward. And we'll look to stretch the opposite muscle here, the pec. And again, the palm is facing directly towards the front of his body. Okay, and then he's going to rotate his left shoulder back and have the arm pull backwards. And here he's stretching the chest muscle, the pec out, where his hand is. You show him again, Ernesto? Yep. So rotate his body forward in the opposite direction and work on stretching the pecs. And he's going to hold this stretch for about 60 seconds. So the 4 different stretches, we stretch the shoulder, we stretch the rotor cuff, stretch the lats, and we stretch the pecs. Those are the 4 areas that we want to work on in order to increase mobility in the shoulder joint. Okay, so this 5th mobility and flexibility exercise that we're going to do is the rotor cuff stretch. Basically, we're going to ask Ernesto to grab onto a fixed object, and he's going to hold the fixed object behind his back, as you can see here. His arm is at a 90-degree angle, and what he's going to do is he's going to pull forward, so his hand, the back of his hand, comes away from his body. Now, you know, if you're very, very tight here, that back of the hand is only going to come off your body maybe an inch or so, but as that loosens up, there should be more and more distance between the back of your hand and your body. And this exercise here is stretching the rotor cuff. You want to hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. Let me just show it to you from the front so you kind of get a better idea of what's going on here. And also Ernesto turns his head to the side that he's stretching, the other way around, Ernesto. That will help increase that stretch a little bit. So it's the 5th exercise in the mobility and flexibility area of fixing shoulder pain. Next we'll be discussing the exercise that you want to do to strengthen your shoulder so you don't have any more pain. And we'll discuss that in the next video. So we'll see you again shortly. Hi, this is Mike from Mike Duffy's Personal Training and head trainer at Ernesto Verdan. We're here to show you the first exercise and strengthen the shoulder girdle. So if you have any shoulder pain or any shoulder injuries, this is probably one of the first exercises you need to do to rehab it, and that's after you've went through the mobility work and the stretching routine that we put together. So first exercise we do, it's called the first floor row, and it's basically a basic row of motion, as you see what Ernesto's doing now. Really important, the elbows have to stay as close to the body as possible. Okay, and that's why it's called a first floor row, as opposed to a second floor row, which is where the elbows come up high, up here. See, he's rowing high. That's something you don't want to do. That will make your shoulder more painful. So we stick with the first floor rows. We stay with these for a while. Usually like 3 sets of 15 would be fine. One thing also you want to make sure you're doing properly is you want to keep your shoulders even with the side of your body. You don't want to protract your shoulders. Show them a protraction of your shoulders, Ernesto, where they lean, the shoulders come all the way forward with the arms extended. There we go. And then pull back. And you see his shoulder joint is moving and forward, his body is kind of like dislocating his shoulders forward. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the shoulders nice and tight and in line with the body. Drive the elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades, The elbows stay close to the side. So that's first floor rowing. You know, it's also similar if you did a dumbbell row, a one-arm dumbbell row. So Nesta, take a quick moment, grab a dumbbell over here, and do a one-arm dumbbell row here on the side. And basically this is a first floor row also, because Ernesto's coming in. We get a better view here. His elbow's close to the side. That's the first floor row. He's going to keep his shoulder in line with his body. He's not going to let that dumbbell stretch all the way to the floor and protract his shoulder. That would not be good. So you want to keep that shoulder in tight. It's another form of a first floor row. Okay, put that down. And the last type of form of a first floor row, which we're not going to show you, which would basically be a cable row on the seated cable, as long as the elbows are tight. Any of those row motions are fine. So that should be the first exercise you do to help your shoulder out, get a pain-free shoulder, and rebuild your shoulder. Show you the second exercise and strengthen your shoulder and the pain-free shoulder routine. Basically what you want to do is you want to take a lat pull down. You want to take an underhand grip on the bar, and you want to lean your body back anywhere from 10 to 30 degrees. You see Ernesto's leaning back slightly. And you want to breathe out and drive the elbows down. And when you get to the bottom, the bar should hit your lower chest, and you should be squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then you bring your arms up slowly. Your arms are fully extended, but do not protract the arms forward. You want to keep the shoulder in alignment with the side of the body. So I'm going to breathe out, drive the elbows back and down. Okay, so he's going to be doing a couple repetitions here. The reason why we use an underhand grip here is because we turn our hands palms up. It internally rotates or externally rotates your shoulder and opens up your subacromial space and takes the pain out of your shoulder. If you go an overhand grip on this, you're basically impinging your shoulder. So you want to stay away from overhand pull downs and stick with under grip pull downs. As your shoulder gets better, you can go to neutral position, which is like a close grip pull down, and when you become completely better, you'll be able to do regular front grip pull downs. So this is the exercise we need to do. Underhand grip pull down to help strengthen the shoulder girdle. And then we'll see you for the third exercise and final exercise in a second. Thank you. This is the third exercise to help you strengthen your shoulder and get your shoulder out of pain. Basically what we want to do is, this is external rotation. We want to take a pad or rolled up towel and you want to block it in underneath your elbow to create about a 10-degree range between your elbow and your body. You never just want to pinch your elbow down to the side of your body. That's not going to help your shoulder out. So you got the elbow blocked up, and we use tubing today, and basically want to grab the tubing across your body, and basically what you want to do is rotate that arm out, externally rotate it as far as you can, and then bring your fist right back in towards your belly button. So you want to breathe out, externally rotate, and in. Just like that. You don't want to twist your body or torque your body at all. It's just the arm doing the movement. It's a tough exercise. Can't use a lot of resistance. We basically want to do anywhere from 12 to 15 repetitions at a time. This strengthens your rotor cuff. External rotation. Great exercise. Now, you shouldn't feel any pain in your shoulder when you're doing this, but you should feel some burning. You want to actually feel the muscle burning. Any joint pain at all, or continued joint pain, you want to discontinue the movement. But muscle pain, muscle burning is fine. You probably feel that when you're doing this. And again, this will help strengthen your rotator cuff and enable you to get your shoulder out of pain. So this is the third and final exercise in the strengthening portion of the routine. We have more advanced movements and progressions from here, which we'll be releasing in another video in the near future. So thanks for sticking with us, and I hope you enjoy the video.